Well, hello everyone. This is Ron, and I'm back with you with another Empire Coins and Collectibles episode. We're going to talk about something that I found at a coin show recently. As you know, I've been talking about the White Settlement coin show I visited about a month ago, but I'm going to show you my tabletop and let you see some of the things that I bought. And then we're going to talk about the discovery that I've made in these coins. And I'll just tell you, it was a bag of copper coins that I bought. So let's go ahead and change over to the camera that will show the tabletop. And I believe it's this one right here. There it is. So I'm going to turn on another light so we get plenty of illumination. And you see all of this right here, all of just this. This came out of this bag of copper coins, the Lincoln cents. Almost entirely, they were from the 1950s. So when I bought these, I did not expect to find anything of significance in them. I only paid probably $5 or $6 for the bag, but I found something more. However, before we get into that, I'm going to move the camera just a bit. You guys have to know that you've seen this previously ungraded. I found a Nolan Ryan rookie card, which has been on my bucket list for quite some time. Yes, I know you guys are coin collectors, but you have to know Nolan Ryan. He had the fastest fastball in Major League Baseball back in the 70s and 80s, and he played, I think, into the 90s. I was thrilled to find this. So when I got it, I sent it in to Beckett to be graded. Came back as a grade of 4, and I was very pleased with that. But the color is very good. So I just wanted to share that with you. I found something on my sports card bucket list since we talked about my bucket list in coins in the last episode. So I thought it'd be a good background to share with you as I go through these coins. All right, back to the coins. So when I went through these particular coins, what I found was there was a few more things than just good solid coins that were circulated. I found coins that had errors on them, and you can't really see the writing on this because some reason this has gotten out of focus. Maybe if I bring this light up, it will focus a little better, and I'll bring it in. But anyway, I went and put them in coin flips and tagged them and bagged them, so to speak, so that I could add them to my collection. But there was one that I was really surprised with, and I'll bring it up here to you, and maybe you'll be able to read it. There it is. It's a Lincoln Wheat cent, and it was a D over D, a 1956. And I was really stunned to find that because I'd never found a D over D 1956 Lincoln cent. And of course, it's not here. Where is it? It's under the coin microscope. So I wanted to go ahead and share that with you. We're going to change cameras. All right, it's changed over, and you're looking at In God, but that's not the real thrilling part of it. I'll just give you a little tour around the coin. Yes, it's been well circulated. You kind of see some doubling there on the B and E, but that might be just die chatter, right? I don't see any notching at the corners, which would be indicative of a doubled die. Of course, you guys know if I'd found a 1956 double die, not sure they exist, I would be overly thrilled with that. But really, the real treasure is right here. And I want you guys to look at just over the D. You're seeing another D. How about that? I mean, this is pretty striking to me right there. And you know, what was really interesting is I went out on eBay and started looking around to see what the other D over Ds from 1956 looks like. You can see that D kind of sneaking out right there. And none of them that I was able to find showed this D sticking out at the top of that particular D. Now, I've called it a D over D, but there is a 1956 D over S. So I'm kind of wondering, what is this? Is this a D over S or a D over D? I've kind of determined it's a D over D, but I'd like your opinion. It's a real treasure for me, and it will go into my coin collection, never to be sold, because it's the first one that I've found. So what do you think? Is it a treasure or not? All right, let's move on. I've got another one to share with you. I'm going to come back to the desk camera, and we're going to bring the light in a little better. And we see that these are now easily seen. Here's an interesting one. This one was also in that bag of weak coins that I bought at the coin show. And notice I said it's a die chip, and one of the die chips is right in the curve of that 9. It fills that 9, but you can see it's a chip. It's like a little bubble there. And then there's another die chip right there on Liberty, and it's like a little bubble embedded in Liberty. And I thought this was a wonderful error, in that it has 2 die chips on it in some very strategic locations. And what are the odds of that happening when a die flakes off? You wouldn't think it happened at the same time to fill the 9 and to fill the lower part of the B. So I'm going to pull this up here. Probably not going to be able to see it. Yeah, you can. Look at that B in Liberty over on the left-hand side. Let me see if I can hold this a little better where you can see it, and bring the toothpick in right there, and then right there. So I don't need the coin microscope to show you this particular error. So I was very thrilled with this. Let's see if I can move it around, get better light on the 9. So now we've got it back in focus, and you can certainly see that 9 right in the crook of the 9. You see this little die chip filling it. So what do you guys think? Is this a treasure or not? There's a few gouges on the coin. It has been circulated. And to me, that just makes it that more endearing that I have a coin that was well circulated from the 50s forward, used in commerce, and it's now part of my collection. I don't think there's anything on Lincoln, so I think that's just dust. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and I will take it out of the sleeve, so bear with me, and I will put it on the coin microscope. So I always put it on a little tray type thing so I can move it around. And I must say, as I turn on the coin microscope here, the little bubble is not real visible as it is out in the coin flip in front of that other camera, but you can see it right there. Kind of see the outline. It's like a little bead embedded in the B of Liberty. And then when we move it over, you can see how that die chip has filled in the 9 right in there. So it's pretty remarkable in terms of having 2 types of errors, both of them on the same side of the coin. What do you think? Is this a keeper? All right. Let's go back to the main camera. I want to show you one more. And now we have something that is also fairly unique, and it's delamination. This is the Lincoln Wheat Cent 1958D, and it has a delamination error. Now, it's not completely delaminated, but it certainly is on its way. And I don't know if you can see it. We may have to go under the coin microscope. Look diagonally across his face, just above the eye. That's not going to be seen readily visible. Can you guys see it? Okay, I'm going to put it under the coin microscope. So bear with me. And here we are. So now, what is delamination? It's when the metallization begins to flake off the surface of the coin. And you can see that. That's not a scratch right there. That coin is beginning to flake. And if it were a significant portion of the coin, say starting from the edge, you could actually see it delaminate and perhaps split into 2 halves. I think this is just a scratch on his chin right there. But the delamination, there's some right there. It's right here. And it goes up into this area. So what do you guys think? Is that interesting? To me, it is. It is a unique coin. It is not done as damage outside the mint. It is something that was processed in the mint as a planchet, and that planchet had weakness. And when it was turned into a coin, over time, it began to flake off. Okay, so that is another one. We're going to go back to the desktop camera. And we're going to look at another error. This one is another die chip. And notice where that die chip occurred. It occurred right inside the D. So here's the theory, and you guys will tell me what you think. And I believe I've heard this from some of the other YouTubers, that when a coin is struck by the working die, some of the weakest parts are where the details of the image of the coin are. And if it's going to chip or break or crack, it's going to be in those areas. So we've had, in the previous example, we had a die chip that looked like a little bead inside a B. We had it inside the crook of the 9. We saw the delamination occurring across the face of Lincoln. And now we see this little, you will see it in just a moment, die chip that occurs inside the D. So from that working theory, it seems to pan out. Let's see if you can see it here. I don't know that you're going to be able to. Well, it's not cooperating. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take it out and put it under the coin microscope and let you take a look at it. And this will be the last coin we take a look. So I've gone through probably about 100 coins, and I came up with several of the errors. They were either delamination, D over Ds, or die chips. And look at this jewel. It actually fills the D. And it's a little more sculptural than you can see just on the screen there. There, it looks like a bead that's laid right inside the D, which is really curious to me. I'm wondering, what do you guys think? How does that occur, in that it only happens and it provides some type of bead type structure? So I'm just kind of touring around the coin to let you have a good look at it. Yes, it's pretty well circulated. It's not in bad condition, but it certainly is not in extra fine conditions. Probably something like fine or better, just a little better, very fine. But in any case, I think that is it. We've seen 3 or 4 different coins from one particular coin search that I had, and you too can find these types of coins. You know, the thing is it's a numbers game. And I think I've mentioned this before. If you're not looking through lots of coins, you're not going to find those unique ones that you can then cherish as part of your collection. You may have to go to a dealer and buy it from them because they've had people go through large and large lots of coins. But if you do it yourself, you're going to be able to find these errors if you look enough and add them to your collection at a very low cost. But if you have to buy them out on the marketplace, you may pay $5, $10, $15, $20. Some of these mid-50s errors can be quite pricey. But that just tells you that my motto for this channel, if you're not out there looking, you're not finding, has a very resonating impact, because it's true. If you're not looking through enough coins, you're not going to find those little treasures. All right, my friends, we've kind of rattled along the way here and meandered, but please remember, if you're not out there looking, truly, you're not finding. You take care, and I will see you in the next episode. All the best. you.